St. Cyr Success Academy, Profiting in a Failed Economy. St. Cyr Success Academy, I'm your speaker, John St. Cyr. We're also being sponsored by JM Real Estate Holdings and the House Exchange. This is what we'll be going over today. Use a simple piece of paper to make risk-free offers. How to use virtual marketing to sell your houses. Sell houses via text message. Buy property without a bank. Where to search for deals. How to find, fund, and flip your deals. How to do all of this part-time. It's October 1st, 2011. I'd like to say good morning and welcome to the webinar. So let's get started. Now's the time to make a major change in your life. You may not get another chance for success. Many thousands of millionaires will be made through real estate within the next 3 years. Ask yourself a question. Will you be one of them? How hungry are you? I know you're laughing at this picture of me. Have you ever said, I hate this job? If it wasn't for the economy, if I had more money, I could do more things. You'll see what I mean by this picture. It's just a figurative illustration, but you'll see what I mean a little later in our program. Okay, I am John St. Cyr. This is my wife, Michelle St. Cyr, which is on this picture, so you know who your speaker is and know that I am a family man. I'm a stepfather, grandfather, uncle, brother, as well as a son. I'd like to get started by first telling you guys a little brief history about how I got started into the real estate investing business, and let you get a chance to see the different type of things that I've done. I've written 2 books. One is A Millionaire's Mindset. The other one is Profiting in a Failed Economy, with which the webinar that you guys are on now. So this is how I got started. I took a course which was on television, the Carlton Sheets No Money Down program. And don't laugh. Although the No Money Down program didn't work for me with different things that I tried, it gave me the foundations that I need from his real estate teachings. His strategies are now outdated, but they helped me become successful. I used to tell my wife and wake me up when the Carlton Sheets commercial comes on, because it would always be in the middle of the night when it came on. So, you know, she would sometimes be up at that time, so she would get me up. And we also would go to every real estate seminar that we could find back then. And there was a guy by the name of Tom Vu, Dave Delgado. There was a guy by the name of Ed Beckley. And like I said before, all of these were the late 80s, early 90s when I was going around to all these seminars. And even today, my wife Michelle and I, we still go to seminars like Armando Montalongo, Robert Allen, Dean Graziosi. Right now today, we still do that because you can never learn enough about this industry, as well as it's constantly changing, so you have to keep your mind fresh. My very first real estate deal I did in 2004. This is the very first property I ever put an offer on. It was a foreclosure, and the asking price was $59,000. At that time, the comps in the areas showed that the condos in that area were going for $75,000. I did them an offer of $32,963, and the weirdest thing, it got accepted. Now, that was something that I did learn with the Carlton Sheets plan. Give them a ridiculous number, and you never know what someone's situation is, and it actually got accepted. My wife and I, we went out to see the property, and it needed minor things like new carpet. The cabinets had to be painted. The bathtub had to be reglazed and needed a new air conditioner, which pretty much like about $1,000 investment, the place was back to normal. That got flipped at $67,000. It netted a profit of $34,037, and we ended up picking up 2 nice Mercedes Benzes. They're pre-owned, and the condo that's below, which was on a golf course of all things. And this property right here was only 6 years old. So this one we actually moved into. We did not move into the other one. Um, there's another thing about this is once you do your very first thing with real estate, your initial fears begin to go away. Next, from that, we went with what was about maybe about 2 years later. We had a townhome built in a local area, and that white car in the background is actually my wife's Audi, which we picked up with some of that money from that other investment that we did. That was a 4 bedroom, 3 bath townhome, and it was brand new, built in from the ground in '06. They didn't finish it until like early '07, and that's pretty much when we moved up in there. The next property is another property we bought in '08, which is also brand new. We had met the builder, and they were finishing the property. It's a 4 bedroom, 2.5 bath. It has a full basement, runs the full length of the house, and it's also piped in the basement for a third bathroom. The thing about it is, this was a very nice house at the end of the block. We're also in process of selling that particular property right now because we need to pick up some less expensive properties. And so basically, when we moved in here, I knew that there was a bigger house on the horizon for us to get. My wife was pretty much settled on this is where she wanted to be, but it was in my mind to go up another stage and have a little bit more advancement, and because I really got that ambitious mind. So we ended up picking up this house, which we live in now. And in late '09, this house was a $680,000 house. We would go over there pretty much almost every weekend. I would bug the builders for this house. And it was one of the last two that they had. And they were using this one as their main model. And we got this at $430 at a 5% interest with no bank loan. And you guys will see a little bit later how we were able to do this. So basically, me putting these properties up there, not really to brag, but or throw something in your face. It's just to make you think, these people was able to get a new house every 2.5 years. How can I do that? Or how are they doing it? Which was the question that everybody was always asking. And who would you rather learn from? An investor that does it every day like myself and my wife, or a guy that makes it up for a TV show and writes scripts for it? Okay, let's get down to the 7 things with which I said that I would be telling you guys about today. Number 1 is use a simple piece of paper to make risk-free offers. Use this piece of paper to make as many offers as you can. This is not a binding contract, but it can help get you to the property. Basically, what I mean is you can lay out what you want to pay for this property, or basically this is my offer, without having to be locked in, even if the person accepts it, which I'm going to show you a scenario of what actually happened with us by using one of these pieces of papers. Basically, you lay it out and you tell the seller that you're interested in buying the property if they would like to sell it under your terms, basically, but I put under these terms, which are your terms in order to purchase the property. I'm going to show you the actual piece of paper. It's called an LOT, which is basically known as a letter of intent. You will put your name and your address, contact information on there. This offer was made in July of '09, and it actually got accepted, but I'm going to read you out how I laid this out. The realtor name was Mrs. Natalie Carpenter Jones. So I had to send this to the realtor in order for her to present this to the seller. Now, a lot of realtors don't want to do this because it's not a purchase contract. But the thing about it is, the law states that if you make an offer or any offer on a property, the realtor has to present your offer. So if it was to be accepted, which I explained in here, then we'll execute a contract. So I have this letter is being written to convey our sincere interest in purchasing The seller's property is located at 109 West 154th Street, 105 West 154th Street, and 101 West 154th Street in Harvey, Illinois. We're going to purchase the property under the following terms and conditions: pending seller approval and providing each building passes property inspection and appraisal for the amount of $168,000 each, and the rent rolls currently total $3,900 per month for each building. Now, what that means is, what I was trying to state was, these are 3 6-flat buildings, which is in a southern suburb of Chicago, which is Harvey, Illinois. The owner had got back with me on some information that the buildings were kicking out $3,900 per month. So that's why I thought about it, and I started laying out this unique option, because I was going to pay him this amount of money for each building, and there were 3 6-flats that this guy had, because I wasn't worried about how much big money I would make on that end, as long as within the period that I specified to them, I would have enough equity built into the buildings. Now, this is the second part of it. This is the continuation of the letter of intent. An affidavit in memorandum of agreement for deed will be drawn up, and we will pay the seller $1,500 per month per building, equaling $4,500 a month for a period of 24 months. Then that was in addition to total $36,000 per building, or a combined total of $108,000 down for the total of 3 buildings. At the time of the total down payment is reached, we will then mortgage the buildings and paying the seller a balance of $132,000 per building, which would be the balances left on each building. If this offer is acceptable, we will execute a contract as specified above. I will look forward to a prompt, favorable response from you so we can draw up a contract and close at a mutual agreeable time. And sincerely, Johnson and Michelle St. Cyr, JM Investments and Holdings. What happened with this was, we ended up finding out that not only did the buildings not pay out each month what the seller was saying they would pay out, because he had problems collecting rent in this area. I also, due to an inspection, found out that there were other problems, as well as some city of Harvey citations going against the building. So to me and my wife at that time, it wasn't really feasible for us to do it. But actually, this did get accepted, believe it or not. They did accept it and did go for it. Okay, number 2. How to use virtual marketing to sell your houses. Postlist.com, Craigslist.com, Backpage.com, eBayClassifieds.com. You can also use bandit signs. These are bandit signs, are the little yellow and white signs that you see hung up everywhere around your town on the wooden poles, as well as freestanding. You can also use flyers. You can also use an investor-friendly realtor that would list your properties on the MLS, and based on what it is that you would ask your realtor, or how you would ask your realtor to list these buildings and what you want them to say about them. We have 3 different realtors like that we work with, but one in particular which works more closer with us than the others. Okay, sell houses via text message. Here's a free service, ladies and gentlemen, basically ladies and germs, and that Google Voice has. You can accept voice and text messages and send text, but you can only send like 5 numbers at a time, but it's free, and it works pretty good. And also on the voice messages, it'll transfer, as long as someone speaks slow enough and clearly, it'll turn their voicemails into text, so you can also read it as an email. It works really well. If you look in the subject line, buy houses, where my cursor is, that's what I put on one of my signs. If you text me and say buy houses, then I will send you back houses, a list of houses of where I have them at, or I will send you a website link. This is the website link where you can go to see the different houses that I have listed and for sale. So in effect, you actually can sell houses by text messages. Number 4, buy property without a bank. Use OPM, other people's money. Get it from a 401k or IRA. If you have one of these, there's no credit check. What is good about that is, on that house I showed you, which is the house we're in now, we had to come up with $30,000 as a down payment. And my wife and I, we're both scratching our heads about, well, let's see, where we're going to get a liquid $30,000 from right away if we're not going to sell off a property. So what we did was we went into our 401ks, pulled out $15,000 each, no credit check. And the thing about it was, all you had to do was show the actual sales contract of the property, and within maybe a week and a half or 2-week period, we had the money for the down payment. You can also purchase a property as a lease option with a small down payment, which is basically 1 month and 1 month security. It also can be recorded to show you have interest in the property, which means that if you set up your lease option the correct way, you can set it up almost like you're actually purchasing the property, where every payment, a certain percentage, goes towards your down payment once you're ready to finally purchase the property within a period of so much time. You can structure this where it'll be either a year or 2 years. It really depends on how your finances is and how you want to do it with the actual owner of the property. You can also purchase property as an agreement for deed. An agreement for deed and is something you definitely record, because you'll be paying the taxes on the property, and you're also knocking down the mortgage payments on the property. A memorandum and agreement for deed is one of the things that I use with builders. This is what I meant by you'll find out about this technique that I did later. So you record that, and you actually are paying the taxes on the property, and he paid it. So, and everything is basically found on the internet now. So anything that you would sometimes find in the paper will basically be on the internet. But some people still put ads in the papers, especially small papers like we have one here called the Penny Saver. There's also the Bargain Finder. It may be one in the Daily Southtown. So if there's a paper in you guys' area, check those papers out as well when you're doing your search for properties for your deals. Number 6, how to fund and flip your deals. I know a lot of you guys was waiting on this. What it is private investors, friends and family, hard money lenders, transactional funding, buy low and sell high in order to move property when no one else is. You have to think smart, and this is also called the art of war, which is a strategic type of thinking. That's why I'm including the book by Sun Tzu. He was one of the greatest Chinese warriors that there were, and he with a small army, he won a lot of wars because he thought strategically in order to beat the onslaught of a massive army. So basically, you're not really going to be fighting anybody or any war or anything. It's just so that you can get your mind right and adjust to a different type of thinking, because once you become an investor, then you can't have the normal type of thinking when you look at a property. You can't fall in love with a property. You have to look at it as it's just a money transaction. That's all it is. It's a piece of paper. Transactional funding, I'd like to touch on just a little bit. Basically, a transactional funding is if you're doing a A to B, B to C deal. And what that means is you have a seller and you don't have the money that particular day in order to buy that property, but you have a buyer that will buy that property from you. So what you would have to do is contact a company that has transactional funding, which everything is in my book that I wrote. Both books have that type of information. Once again, back to the transactional funding. What that is you have a seller. The seller sells to you. You contact the transactional funding place. You have to pay 2 points on this money, which basically means up to $500,000. You can get that money. You basically renting that money for one day. You have to pay 2,000 on that. Um, After you buy the property, then you in turn flip that property to your end buyer, which is A to B, B to C, because you become B, and by you being B, you're selling now to C, which is the other end buyer. And once you get that money, uh, your deal's done. You pay off the transactional funding money, send that money back, give them back the $2,000, which you're gonna owe them for renting that money that day, and the rest becomes actual profit for you, depending on what you're selling that property to the end seller for. 7. How to do all of this part time. You need to look for deals and make offers at least 10 hours a week to be successful in this business. So, how do you do that? You have to use time management. I suggest 2 hours a day in the evenings instead of checking out the Monday Night Football or Dancing with the Stars or whatever it is that you do in the evening as far as watching television. You can take those 2 hours a day and start searching for deals. Also, promote on your deals because these people you watching on television, those people are already millionaires, and you trying to be one. So it's your time to get out there and get your business started. So basically, please manage your time, ladies and gentlemen. And anybody who buys property as a direct result of what you will learn from my books, please let us know. Send us an email with a photo to, or you can send us a video to jmrealestateholdings@gmail.com. Send us a photo with your testimonial, how our training helped you better your life, and we will post it in our ads whenever we do our next seminar, as well as we may put some of that inside of the next book. So here is what we're doing today. The Millionaire's Mindset is a complete real estate investing manual, and I basically sell these books now at $19.95 each. The Profiting in a Failed Economy, that book explains the complete wholesaling end of the real estate industry so that you can pick up a property, buy it, flip it, sell it without even owning it. In the Millionaire's Mindset, that information is in there, but it also touch on profiting from short sales and REO foreclosures, as well as anything else to do with the normal conventional real estate buying and selling. So you have a choice. You can either get them each, or you can get the two books together. So what I'm going to do is, since you guys are on this seminar today, which is October the 1st, 2011, I'm going to let you guys have both books at $19.95. And keep in mind, the Millionaire's Mindset book has buyer's contracts, seller's contracts, basically anything that it needs for you to set up your actual real estate business. The Profiting in the Failed Economy, that's how you can get into the real estate investing business with no money, no credit. So if you like them, they're going to be for sale today at $19.95, which basically this is the conclusion part of my presentation. The next page is going to be the actual link for where you can pick up the books at this deal, because it's only going to be like this just for today only. By Monday, well, you know what? I'm feeling pretty good. I'm going to leave it like that for this weekend. And Monday, which will be today's the 1st, 2nd, the 3rd, Monday the 3rd, then they'll go off sale for both books at $19.95. They'll go back to $19.95 each. So we'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming out with us, spending part of your Saturday morning with us. I'm more than sure that a lot of you have questions. Any questions that you have from today's webinar, please address them to the House Exchange, at gmail.com. Once again, it's the House Exchange at gmail.com. Once again, I can't thank you guys enough for spending part of your Saturday morning with us. To purchase The Millionaire Mindset and Profiting in a Failed Economy ebooks, go to johnstcyr.com. That's JOHNSTCYR.com. And for the price of $19.95, you'll get both ebooks. You'll be able to download to your computer. They also will be in a WinZip format, so if you do not have WinZip, I suggest you go to winzip.com, download the program so that you can unzip the files, and then they are in Adobe PDF format. For your testimonials, once again, anybody who's online that I've helped previously to get houses and or in any way concerning real estate, please send your testimonials to jmrealestateholdings@gmail.com along with a photo, or you can do it as a video. Make sure your video is either MP4 or AVI format, and send that along to us so that we can add that to the next book and or DVD or the next seminar that we're going to be holding, which will be coming up. The next seminar I do plan is it'll be something for profiting with short sales. It'll be a little bit more detailed on that. So once again, thank you guys, and good afternoon.